Good evening, folks. This is Darth Rabbit 07, getting caught up with some Micro Galaxy Squadron reviews. I've had Bo-Katan here for quite a bit with her Gauntlet fighter, and it's time to get this thing on the turntable and out of the box. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, all the stuff down below. Thanks again for watching, guys. Let's turn this camera around and take a closer look at Bo-Katan's Gauntlet Starfighter. And on the turntable there is Bo-Katan's Gauntlet fighter. It is number 37 in the Series 2 of figures. It looks really awesome. Open that cockpit, put her in the cockpit. There's the figurine on the box. On the back of the box, you got this gyro mechanism where you can do like it does in the show and get things to go 180 degrees, 360 degrees, however you see fit, however you want to display your fighter. I've got these other two guys, and I actually do got Ahsoka with that hyperspace ring. I found that one like 6 months ago, and I got this guy in January, on January 27th, 2023. We were in Birmingham at a Target, and I was randomly looking for this one and found that one, and it was like my jumping point into the Micro Galaxy Squadron. Thank you, Anton Merrick and Rogue One, for getting me into yet another rabbit hole. Let's crack this open and see how cool Bo really is. Whenever you go to take this stuff out of the box, you do get some more art that you can use for your displays and or your one sheets. So that's pretty nice. I like the way that looks. You got Bo-Katan inside of the blister there, and you got her in her figure form looking all Bo-Katan, and I just really like that. I like that that's what you get in the back of the hologram. Really cool. And we'll get to figure out here and do some measurements in a minute. And you get the Gauntlet Starfighter in that blister. And we'll set this aside to take another look at this box art. And had it not been, you know, part of this and torn, that would have been another one to get a hold of. Some really cool stuff all together. Let's get it out of the thing and on the turntable and some measurements next. And here is the Gauntlet Fighter and Bo-Katan outside the box, all posed up how the landing configuration is for the Gauntlet Fighter. And we're going to take a quick look right here at Bo and look at those details, how beautiful she really is. This is really something else. I hate that it took me this long to get this gal open, but you can hear all the chickens and roosters down the hill from my house here. It's a really wonderful, beautiful evening, not too hot. Very chilly, kind of, sort of, but nice ambience in the countryside here. She's definitely an owl. I love the way that looks on that face mask. Let's get the measurements going on. Bo actually gets out just above the 1 inch mark here on the meter here. And we're going to take a closer look real quick at the cockpit with the black wash they applied to the inner workings of the cockpit. We're going to get her put in there next. And these things are so tiny, getting her in there's no easy feat, so she's probably in her forever home unless I get some pliers or tweezers to pick her back out. So we're going to close up the cockpit, let you see down inside of the, I don't know if you can really see inside of there. She's in there, and it's closed up tight. And now we're going to get this thing into some measurements real quick, so we'll stand it up like this and stretch that tape out to let you see that it's right at 6 inches from the base of the landing gear to the tip top of the front end of the ship there. And then along the back side there, we'll run this thing to get you nose to tail, and that thing is going to be roughly at 5 3/8. Just me eyeballing it there. And the fuselage landing gear to the top of the ship is going to be 1.5. So there's that, and the wingspan. I'll go ahead and grab it right here real quick because that's not going to change no matter what the configuration is there. So you're looking at about 5 7/8 from tip to tip right here. With that said and done, let's spin this thing around one more time here with Bo-Katan in it. And it has one retractable landing gear, and these wings do fold up. If you've watched this show at all, you can see a bunch of crazy coolness with the Gauntlet Fighter. So when it takes off, that landing gear will fold up, and these things will come back down around the front there, and that's your First standard configuration there, looking at it from the forward section there, or the front there. And then you got the starboard without the wings getting all crazy and wild. It's very slick, very elegant. And the aft, kind of wish that had like the little blue flame on the inside, unless the yellow is the afterburners. I have to go back and look at that and the show, one of several shows that has it. And that's the other thing that a lot of people don't really like about this, is that it's not colored the way it is, but they are going to make a, what is it, Armada version that's going to be better painted and better colored to suit that. But customizers can have a lot of fun with this before that. So with that said, you can do the whole thing like in the show, where you can twist and get a different profile depending on the situation. Her flying in some canyons and stuff, no problem. There's the way that looks in the back there, with it like that, going around the side. Just a really, really awesome, stealthy looking Mandalorian fighter. I really do like this thing, and it does go all the way around. So what's up is down, what's down is up, and that kind of crazy. And you can angle these wings to whatever you need them to do. I mean, to each his own, your imagination's king and prime. I do like that whole going down the canyon thing there, and then you can do whatever and simulate what you need to do, and then have her come back up for a landing and get it right in there. A lot of fun in hand. That's about all there is to it. I love the detailing throughout. It's got very, very good paint on it. What little bit of paint was used there, I just wish they had nailed the colors right the first time, but now we get to buy this again. And or you got you some other fighters for the Mandalorian guys or whatever have you. I do know that they got like a forgot the landing claw. There we go, got the landing claw. Yeah, it'll sit there. So you can like have, I put them in there in place of her or whatnot. I want to say these are bigger than just a single cockpit like an X-Wing, Y-Wing, unless I got that whole thing wrong there, but I could have swore she had a lot more room inside of her ship, where there was two people that could sit there and had some other Mandalorians ready to go, jumping out of the ship kind of thing, jumping ship. Anyway, let's get this Gauntlet fighter into some final thoughts. Thoughts on this? Bow looks amazing, and this ship also does the same as well. You can angle those wings forward and still land it, and it looks like it's doing a belly landing. And I don't really even see anything on here where you can probably do a flight stand or maybe wedge something up in here, but we're going to try to do that just for some prosperity so we can get some spins. Or you can simulate a NASA launch and just take off. There we go, New Age to the rescue again, and we do got us a flight pose without me having to hang on to it, and you can spin it around and look at the different sides and the profiles and that kind of thing. Really, really slick looking fighter. I really do like Star Wars ships of all kinds and types. Can't wait to get a hold of the correctly painted one of these. And then we got a fleet bidder, if you will, because this was a little bit more easy to find than some of the other ships. Just think it's totally dumb luck that I was looking for this one when in Alabama in that January Hope's Travel Ball down there at the Finley Center, and then just a few miles away there's a Target, and I go looking between games, and boom, there's Anti-Americ, and then I'm in that Micro Galaxy Squadron rabbit hole. Then I also painfully discover that there's this thing called Chases and Rares, like you see on the back of the box there, and that's a whole crock of shit if you ask me. I mean, people want this stuff. They don't want to have to chase it down or pay exorbitant prices for a $15 ship, and this is so much more collector friendly than the actual stuff that Hasbro releases, because this is smaller in size, highly detailed, great paint, usually good QC altogether, and then they can't find the stuff because you got Chases and Rares. That's just horseshit, Jazzwares. That said, I highly recommend this line anyway because of the great ships, and these are accurate little models, and I love this line. I love Star Wars ships, period. You had me at Star Wars there, so, and you have a lot of us at Star Wars, but anyhow, that's going to about do it for Bo's Gauntlet Fighter. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, all the stuff down below. Thank you again for watching, guys, spending some of your time with me as I get the backlog of Micro Galaxy Squadron caught back up, especially with me having to keep the light duty stuff. So working a little bit overtime on the camera since I can't DoorDash, and then I'll be back out there whenever the doctor does. Hopefully we'll see what happens Thursday at the appointment. I might have to wait a couple more weeks before I get into like basketball and swimming. He said roughly a month before I could do that stuff again, but I don't want a hernia with the wounds that I do got there from the procedure. And you got to take care of yourself first, guys. You got to do the steps and things and get better. So that said, thank you again for watching. Y'all have an excellent week out there. May the force be with you all, always.